Hey guys, Tisha here. Welcome back to another segment of It's Getting Real. I'm not going to lie to you all. This case is a tough one to the point where I was supposed to talk about it last week, but it was just too heavy for me to do it. And I struggle with it because this, like a lot of the other cases that I've talked about up here, could have been a situation that should have been completely avoided. I try not to blame parents for things that happen to their children because it really could be any one of us. But in this situation, I really don't think that this could have been me. But you all let me know what you think. Cherish Lily Periwinkle was born in Jacksonville, Florida on December 24th, 2004. She was born to Rain Periwinkle and Billy. Billy met Rain in 2003 at a strip club. She was a worker and he was a patron. They had a one-night stand and she then found out she was pregnant. Now, when she found out she was pregnant, and she told him he was more than willing to support the child. He just wanted to have her do a DNA test. Understandable, this was a one-night stand. She, however, refused. But 3 years later, she applies for benefits. And because she applies for benefits and he was in the military, a DNA test was done and it was confirmed that Cherish was his child. So, from that point on, Billy supports and spends time when he can because he didn't live in the same state with his daughter. She was becoming close to her father, and he wanted custody of her. So they battled it out in court. And eventually it was recommended by officials that she live with her father because they felt that he could provide a better environment and they felt that he was more stable. They felt that the mom had some mental issues, and based on some of the things that I saw on video, I'm going to have to agree. And here's the thing. You can have some mental deficits and still take care of children. But this, to me, is so much deeper than that. We'll get into it, though. So the judge hears this. And in 2010, it's decided that they'll share custody with the primary residence being with the mom. At this point, when things go wrong, Cherish is in second grade. She was described as a friendly student, known for her smile and her ability to make others smile through her jokes. She loved school, even going home after school to act like she was the teacher and her sisters were the students. She had two sisters, ages 4 and 5. She often be heard reading to them and helping them. She loved drawing to the point where she would spend hours drawing beautiful pictures and sharing them with her mom and others. She was just a good kid. So shortly before the day that changed her life, Cherish accomplished a really big goal. She learned how to ride her bicycle without training wheels. She enjoyed living with her mother and her sisters and their father, but it was tough. They were a loving family, but they struggled financially. Cherish was very close to her mother, though, often dressing up like her mom and wanting to be like her mom. So no one thought that everything would change. It's the 21st of June, 2013. Started out like any other day. As I said, Cherish's primary residence was in Jacksonville, Florida, with her mom, her two little sisters, and her mother's boyfriend. She's extremely excited because she's gonna go to spend the summer with her father, who lives in California. It's gonna be her first time seeing him in months. She's 8, and she knows she's about to have a great time. So Cherish does what a lot of people do before they leave, and she gets prepared for her trip. She has her hair washed and her bags packed because she's leaving early in the morning. So on this day, the 21st, at around 7:30 p.m., Rain, Cherish, and her two younger sisters decide that they have to go shopping to get some things that she's going to need, as well as some clothes. Nothing new there. I know one of the things that I used to love as a child was being able, when I knew that I was going to go to my grandmother's house for the summer, was going summer shopping, because you were not about to go anywhere looking rough. It's just things that parents do. Like, it's all a part of, you're going out of town, you're going on vacation, you're going on a trip. We want to make sure that you have nice things. Rain does not have a car. So they walk 20 minutes to the Dollar General. They're in the store and they're shopping. And she's price checking items to make sure that she gets what she needs without going over. Because she wasn't just getting clothing, she was also getting some household things. She had $100 in her pocket. But that $100 needed to be for the clothes and also to pay for her to get to and from the airport to drop her off. Because, like I said, she doesn't have a car. So Rain is in the store debating whether or not she has enough to buy this $7 dress, when a man by the name of Donald Smith sees this. He approaches them. Rain doesn't know it, but Donald has been watching her and her children since she had got into the store. So he saw that she was being cautious of how much she was spending. He saw her picking up things and going to the register to get price checks on things. He then overhears her tell the clerk that she can't afford a dress. So he approaches her, tells her that he has a $150 Walmart gift card, that he can get his wife to meet them up there and drop it off. And he can buy the clothes at Walmart that Rain can't afford. Me personally, I would have been like, okay, thank you for the gift card, but that's not what happened here. It's sad because nowadays there are so many instances where you see people pay it forward. I've been in the grocery line before and witnessed somebody pay for somebody else's groceries. I've been in a checkout line and paid for the person in front of me stuff. Like this, people have done this before. I remember last year during the holidays, my church randomly gave out $100 gift cards in Walmart to various families that we saw shopping to pay it forward. So it's not like this doesn't happen. I don't want to act like it doesn't happen, but I'm always leery sometimes of something that sounds too good to be true, because there's good deeds and then there's overextending yourself, and we'll get to it. Her mother did not know that Donald Smith doesn't have a wife. Not only that, but he had been reported several times by various people who witnessed him casing various stores. Now, they don't know what he was casing them for, but they saw him doing this. He, in case you didn't figure it out yet, is a lifelong sexual offender with a history of crimes against children. In 1977, he exposed himself to a child. He was convicted of lewd and lascivious behavior on a child under 16. In 1993, he had been sentenced for 5 years in prison for attempting to kidnap a minor. First of all, 5 years is not enough. I don't even understand how he can attempt to do anything like that, and after 5 years they let him out. But this is what happens here. In 2009, he gets arrested for impersonating a Department of Social Services official. And after all of this, they evaluated him knowing that he had problems with his impulses. I do not understand how, after all these crimes and an evaluation, you allow this man back on the street. I think that people like this need to be locked up forever. I'm not saying that there cannot be rehabilitation possibly, but I don't know what that rehabilitation looks like, and it certainly wasn't happening with him, because he had been released 3 weeks before he decided to kidnap Cherish. As they're waiting outside for this imaginary wife to come, after 20 minutes, it starts to rain. He tells Rain his wife is going to meet them at, well, Walmart. That alone would have told me, it's okay, thank you, but I'm good. But it's raining. She doesn't want to get wet. She has 3 daughters with her. And she does everything to me that you should not do. So she takes herself and her 3 girls and she gets in this white van, accompanying this man to Walmart. They go to Walmart. He waits in the vehicle at first, eventually comes in there. They're shopping for a little under 2 hours, picking out various things. Donald then comes in and picks out things as well. I don't understand why he's picking out things for a little girl. Things like high-heeled shoes that the mom told him that it was inappropriate to wear. And even accompanying her to her dressing room multiple times while she changed and tried on outfits. You heard me right. A stranger is following your child to a fitting room where she's trying on clothes. Why aren't you there? Donald then realizes it's late, says the girls haven't eaten. Let me go ahead and get them something to eat because there's a McDonald's in the store. Cherish goes with him. Strike number 2. Why is Cherish going alone with this man that you've only known for a couple of minutes? Cherish follows the man to the McDonald's. This is a complete stranger. There is no way my child would be following him anywhere. But Rain doesn't think like the rest of us. Rain thinks that her child has followed Donald to McDonald's, but she didn't. This becomes the last time that anyone sees Cherish. It's now 11:18. After 30 minutes of them being gone, she's panicking. So at 11:18, she calls 911 to report that her daughter Cherish was taken by a stranger from Walmart. She says, I had a strange feeling when I first met him. He took her to the dressing room twice. If I have a strange feeling about anyone, do you think that they would be near my child? The answer to that is no. No way in hell. They wouldn't be near my child. She says, I was hoping that she would be okay because I was looking at the shoes. I'm serious. This is what she said on the 911 call. I didn't want him to think I was overly protective, freaking out, but now they're not here and I find it odd. He drives a white van. I feel like a fool. I hope he's not R-ing her right now because I've had it done to me. I cannot fathom. I cannot understand how she dropped the ball like this. I cannot understand how she's had certain things done to her and she isn't on overprotective mode. I know that I've blocked my kid from certain things because I wouldn't allow him to go to certain places because of things that have been done. I was the mom who, my child wasn't sleeping over at your house. He just wasn't. And if he was, I was going to be right there with him. So to hear her say that certain things have been done to her, and even though certain things have been done to her, she still allowed this stranger to walk out with her child, tells me something's wrong here. Something is wrong here. Rain tells officers and 911 that she met Donald earlier that evening at the Dollar General, that he had offered to buy her children clothes from Walmart. So at 11:36, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Department, after talking to her outside and everything like that, issues the first be on the lookout for Cherish and Donald Smith and the white van. Officers then watch the video showing Donald with Cherish inside Walmart as he walked out with her, got in his van, and they left. It is now June 22nd, 2013. It's about a little after 2 a.m. when the homicide sergeant notifies the homicide lieutenant to initiate an Amber Alert. They should have done that at 11 whatever, 18 I think it was, when they got that first initial call from 911. They should have done that the instant that that child left in that truck with that man. But it takes 2 hours from the time that he suggested it for it to even be issued. At 4:21 a.m., the Amber Alert is issued. It's 5 hours now since the abduction. Now, do I know if those 5 hours made a difference or not? No. But I think that it could have saved her. And laws have been changed as a result of this case. This is one of the cases that changed some of those laws. So it's June 22nd, 2013. It's 4-something in the morning. A notification is sent to local media advising them to have a news conference, and it's going to take place at 5 in the morning. The message says that the case is in reference to the abduction of a juvenile by a known sex offender. I don't understand why they waited so long to do that. This is another instance where I feel like they dropped the ball. Y'all should have been having the conference immediately as well as issuing the Amber Alert. So it's now 5:27 a.m. They send out photos of Cherish and Donald and pictures of his van to the media. Nothing else until 8:34, when a citizen spots a vehicle matching the one that is on TV at Highlands Baptist Church. Then, minutes later, or moments later, under an hour later, an officer sees that same van on I-95. The van is stopped. Donald Smith is inside. They search the van. They find a stroller, some of Rain's things, some of the items that she purchased from the Dollar General. He's taken into custody, but Cherish is not in the van. It is noted that the whole lower half of Donald's body is wet, and he's wearing the same clothes that he was witnessed wearing on the cameras in Walmart. According to the documents, he told officers he was smoking crack cocaine all night with prostitutes when he was asked why is he wet. And he says that he sweats profusely when he does drugs. So they send K9 units out to the area where the van was spotted. And Cherish's body is found by the K9 team submerged in water in an area behind the Highlands Baptist Church. Her 67-pound body is weighed down by bricks. A plastic Walmart bag is found nearby. She had injuries all over her body. That baby fought. She had defensive wounds. She had blood force trauma to the head. Ligature marks around her neck. He gagged her so aggressively that it caused bleeding of her gums and her mouth and her nose. The coroner later reported that she had been SA'd so severely that her genitalia was distorted. She was 8. It is believed that Donald had bound her in the back of his van, where she was assaulted and strangled to death. Donald Smith was charged with kidnapping, sexual battery, and first-degree murder. The evidence against him was overwhelming. There was video footage that showed him leaving with Cherish, him still being wet at the time of his arrest, the lady that saw his van parked near where Cherish was found, and lots of DNA. The trial begins, and it wasn't easy, to the point where the chief medical examiner broke down on the stand while she presented her findings. Because it turns out that Cherish did not die quickly. She was tortured at the hands of this monster. To make matters worse, recordings were taken while he was in jail. He was heard talking to some of the other inmates about a group of teenage girls that were visiting, talking about, oh, they look like they're about 12 and look at their shapes. That's right up my alley. He also was overheard at one point saying that Cherish had a big butt for a white girl. She's 8 years old, and he's sitting there bragging and talking about her like she's someone his age. He's disgusting. He tried to use the insanity defense at his trial, even being heard through recordings on the phone with his mother, asking her for a copy of the DSM-4. If you don't know what the DSM-4 is, it's a book of diagnoses, and it basically tells you like all the different criteria, all the different traits that someone may have if they have this particular mental health thing, and it tells you like what the traits are, because I haven't looked this thing in years, and how you can help the person, or like symptoms that they exhibit. I know it has symptoms that they exhibit in there, but I don't remember what else. But it basically is like, say there's 10 different things for this one. This person may have, if they have 6 of the 10, then they have it. Like that type of situation. So he was trying to use the book to help himself with insanity. But he's on that same recording admitting to his mom what he did, basically saying like he knew he was already going to be in trouble because she followed him to the van and he's not supposed to be around kids. So he just felt like he might as well just go ahead and do what he had to do. So the case is happening. It's February 2018, I believe. And the prosecutor, Mark, said Donald made Cherish feel safe with his lies and deception, and he preyed upon her. That little girl had to endure a nightmare no child should have to endure. If you have anger inside of you, it's not because of what I said. It's because of what you saw. It's because of what he did. The jurors were shown autopsy photos of this poor little girl. And some were crying and cringing and looking away in disgust at what he did to her. In closing arguments, the prosecution said that Smith asked the Dollar General assistant manager if they sold adult magazines before he saw Cherish. He saw that Rain was down on her luck and money was tight. She was debating whether or not to buy a $7 dress. Sometimes in this world, we like to think that there's goodness in man. And that day, Rain hoped that his intentions were true and pure. He went on to say that Cherish is crying from the grave. The defendant took from that little girl everything that is innocent and pure, and then he took her life. Now it's time to hold him accountable for what he did. And I agree. I agree that they should fry him. They should. I really, really feel like they got to do more with these SA cases, because there's no reason why people are assaulted and the perpetrators get less time than people who've done far worse. Donald wanted to be sentenced to death because he's a coward and he didn't want to face prison because of what they do to people like him in prison. But it took the jury 15 minutes to find him guilty of first-degree murder and SA. In May 2018, he was sentenced to death. In Florida, you're automatically eligible for appeal. So in March 2020, he attempted to fight the death sentence, but the decision was upheld. Rain's other sisters were later removed from the home, and a family member from Australia, because Rain's mom is from Australia originally, adopted the kids. It turns out not only is she from Australia, but she previously had a daughter that resided there before she came to the United States and changed her name, and she left the daughter at 5 behind. Her sister calls her a bad mom, and I have to agree, because I don't get why she thought it would be okay to put her child in harm's way, especially if she felt the way that she felt. Now, there are various accusations that are out there. Some people feel that she sold her daughter. Some people feel that she knew something was wrong and she still allowed it to go on. Either way, Rain is no longer here because of not just the negligence of her mother, but also because of the negligence of society, because of the laws that allow these people, these predators, to have second and third and fourth chances. I don't know what it's going to take for people to take things like this more seriously. I hate to imagine what that baby went through. She fought. She could have been anything. And because of this monster, she's no longer here. Because of this system that is broken, she is no longer here. And I'm sorry, in my opinion, because of her mother, she is no longer here. But you all tell me your thoughts of this one. This one was a tough one. I had to cut it because, whew. Anyways, let me know what you all think. Thank you so much. Continue to rest. Until next time.